I have always been fascinated by impossible journeys. Make that seemingly impossible journeys. The books I gravitated towards as a teen recounted adventures of crossing the Pacific by raft, the ascent of Everest, and encounters with staggering terrains, the Antarctic and the Arctic Circle. And whatever books I could find on the unfathomable craziness of the polarity of humanity. That road less traveled, perhaps, of trying to understand why we who are capable of so much that is extraordinary are also capable of the most horrific crimes against nature and humanity itself. And simultaneously, but maybe initially with less clarity that this too was a journey, I began diving into every book I could find that spoke of the search to find the meaning of life and the search to understand the evolution of consciousness. Mom, at times, worried about my seemingly relentless search to understand the nature of existence, something which has baffled far wiser heads than mine for eons. Why can't you just be happy like everyone else? She once asked in despair. I think because while I had a beautiful life, albeit interspersed with times of immense challenge, still I couldn't pretend I wasn't aware of the millions who every single day are living on the same planet but are simultaneously suffering illness, injury, grief, mental illness, hopelessness, despair, and the effects of the traumas of war, persecution, and more. I couldn't pretend that while I was going about my blessed day, millions of strangers around the world were not, and so many were suffering in untold ways. I couldn't not care. I needed to discover the truth of existence beyond paradigms, dogmas, and unfounded assertions. It had to be actual experience of truth, beyond words, beyond question, beyond the beyond. Because nothing that had so far been put into words in the libraries of the world, as far as I had discovered at that young age, had categorically uncovered a universal truth that was accessible and undeniable regardless of the variations of faith, belief, or the adherence to science. It's taken decades to walk this journey. It's taken 100% dedication to the road less traveled, even when that has meant confusing or even at times alienating those I loved most. You can't share this insight in words. If you could, we would have been taught this at birth in a way that was universally agreed upon. The whole world would read the same scriptures, perform the same experiments, and come to the exact same set of conclusions beyond mind, beyond dogma, beyond beliefs. And the war, inner and outer, would be over. But this is a path not unlike the ascent of Everest, where some aspect of it can only take place within our own selves. The nurturing of the longing for absolute understanding that drives the inner and outer search cannot be taught in a workshop or a book. It is the dawning of an awareness of an inner discomfort or a question that seemingly can't be answered by anything in the world. What is this all about? It is a seed that, once watered, develops within our awareness in quiet, subtle moments of introspection and questioning, breaking on the shores of our longing, at times, with compelling force and insistence. And at a time, perhaps predetermined by the blueprint of our own souls, it catches our attention and won't take no for an answer. And then we are on our way, internally driven, toward an answer that the world seems incapable of delivering, walking that road less traveled with focus and compelled to resolve the biggest question that man has ever asked: what is the meaning of life? And why, for some of us, does that answer become urgent, as it did in my own life? And if our friends and loved ones are right, and it's just an inconvenient, unknowable distraction from having a nice day, And why can't you just be happy like everyone else? Then at the very least, maybe we will have found that answer unequivocally for ourselves by staying with the question until we have answered it definitively and inwardly in a way that puts an end to our inquiry. Because if the question still remains, then the question still remains. And maybe in the end we will have answered the question this lifetime, or maybe at the very least we will have used the remainder of our lives trying. When the question answers itself in the face of your incessant searching, then no question remains. Only the wish that it were given to us to put into words that would reveal it for the rest of mankind, and put an end to the suffering we all witness and experience, both in our own lives and in the news of the world that we are faced with every day. But that is not the way this cosmic dance is arranged. We must live our lives as we feel. Your life is your sacred path, no matter what. And when, in this lifetime or another, a day dawns when the seed of longing for understanding arises, then like a climber who sets out from base camp on the ascent of Everest, we will set out on our own inner journey and use every resource and tool to follow the subtly discernible breadcrumb trail laid out by existence to guide our way. I'm finding that the more we turn toward the divine reality, the more divine reality turns towards us. And by all means, have a beautiful day and live in loving service as much as you can, and quietly live all that you have been given, all that has been uncovered, that resonates with beauty, joy, love, compassion, and peace. And know that at the very deepest level, you are home.